Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another Thursday is upon us. Seems like it happens every week, like clockwork almost. Welcome back to Jank Thursday, voted one of the strangest shows on the internet. We have 73 entries living upon the wheel because last week we got one that was a double pack. The Exotic Dreams, very fancy cars from Julie Farnham. So we're going to shuffle, we're going to spin, and we're going to give a little history of the day and just see where the evening takes us, shall we? So let us spin. And today, sadly, rather dark day in U.S. history, January the 16th, the year 1919. The 18th Amendment is ratified by the requisite number of states to become part of the Constitution, the one that states the manufacture, sale, or transport of intoxicating liquors for beverage purposes, aka prohibition, is passed, and that is unfortunate. Coming up this week, this pack has been sitting around for a little while. We've got some old school WCW wrestling that I picked up Christmas 2023 at a shop in Pittsburgh, and I've seen a lot of people open them, and I can't wait. So join me at the table in a few moments. And over at the table we go. We're going hunting for the pack of WCW trading cards. If I remember, actually, I saw the W. There we go. Short hunt. Hunt over. We have cards. The WCW trading cards, 1991. 12 cards. Back when wrestling was, well, let's just put it that way. Back when wrestling was not what it is today. And, you can take that as you will, but I haven't watched the product in a long time. But this was back in the heyday of wrestling. 1991 WCW. There's going to be some names in there. Let's put it that way. So let us get in, and we're going to start right off. The Steiner brothers, Rick and Scott. That is Rick pictured. Rick Steiner is a graduate of the University of Michigan. I thought both of them... Oh, that's just Rick Steiner. See, they're profiling him. I was going to say, I thought both of them went to the University of Michigan. Actually, rather good, especially Rick, very good collegiate wrestlers. And a fun tag team in their younger days. The perennial babyface, Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. This compact wrestler is just like nitroglycerin. You get a lot of bang from just a little bit, but don't let the size fall. I actually did not know he was only 5'9". And by the way, can we just give it up for the amount of mullets that we're going to have in this pack? Pound for pound, they don't come any tougher, any meaner, any more powerful. Didn't they? What? Oh, a fact that Ricky has proven over and over again, much to his opponent's dismay. Oh, this was a good one. Sid Vicious, R.I.P. A really, really good wrestler, and I think one that kind of gets swept under the rug just because of his later career. Excuse me. Sid will be the first to tell you he's no blonde prima donna cutie pie. Well, you ain't kidding there. He has all the tools necessary to continue his reign of terror in the squared circle, as shown in the front of this card. Lex Luger, trademark, is inclined to agree with him. That's who it was. I was like, why does that guy look familiar? It was Lex Luger. There we go. I think a great tag team back in the day, Doom. But this is, Ron Simmons right there. Man, was he a great collegiate football player. College Football Hall of Fame, actually. When it comes to brute strength and unbridled power, it's tough to find a stronger tag team than Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. Teddy Long, their manager, said it best. Doom bust heads, baby, and they don't care whose they are. They were a fun team to watch because Ron Simmons is just awesome. Wildfire, Tommy Rich. Man, WCW really had a roster back in the 90s. When Tommy Rich, known to wrestling fans worldwide as Wildfire, enters the ring on business, his opponent had better make sure his life insurance policy is all paid up. Here, Tommy demonstrates his favorite hold, the side headlock, which makes for a whole lot of hurting going on. Well, if you put it on wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more, because there was 12 in there. We got, actually, a guy I'm a big fan of, good old Dirty Dutch Mantell. Is that Terry Taylor he's with? There is the mustache of all mustaches. That is going in Mount Stashmore. Excuse me. Dutch shows his fans exactly how he's earned his handle Dirty Dutch Mantell. One thing is certain, when Dirty Dutch enters the ring, there had better be a large supply of aspirin close by. Come to think of it, a waiting ambulance isn't a bad idea either. Who wrote these? Man, actually, who manufactured these? More to the point, I actually don't know. We're just going to flip over, because it's the Freebirds. Michael P.S. Hayes. Who did this? What company is that? Oh, Impel. Okay. From Bad Street, USA. Man, Michael Hayes was something. He's just one of the boys from the Bad Street. No kidding, that's the name of his hometown, Bad Street, USA. The PS stands for purely sexy. As Michael put it, hey, it takes a real man to wear lipstick. He's a former World Tag Team Champion. Who's going to argue? Not many people, honestly. There we go, Lex Luger. Actually, I think he's not from Rochester. I think he's actually from Buffalo, given the old power slam to Ric Flair. Here's some mullet action. Ric Flair looks for a landing zone as Lex Luger is about to inflict the gorilla press slam. Lex, a former professional football player. He did. Who did he play for? Was it the Tampa Bay Bandits? I think. I think Ron Simmons actually played for the same team. Has used his brute strength and cat-like quickness to become one of pro wrestling's most feared contestants. And I think also Lex Luger spent some time. I might be 100% wrong. Or I might be 100% right. I think he spent some time with the Green Bay Packers, but I think more on the practice squad. Don't know if he actually played. That would be a fun Monday thing. You know, wrestlers who were football players and vice versa. There we go. Oh, Teddy Long. I love Teddy Long. I'm a big fan. His interviews are great. Manager of Doom. Teddy Long manages some of the most wicked wrestlers in the sport, although they're not always the most popular wrestlers. That doesn't bother Teddy. He points out fans don't win wrestling matches. Well, he ain't wrong. Don't underestimate Teddy, though, as he'll do anything to get ahead. Good old Teddy Long. Back in the days before they broke down, but honestly, I think before the internet ruined professional wrestling. It really did. There you go. Classic. Everybody loves Sting. Everybody. Is there really a superhero? If there really is a superhero, it has to be Sting. He is not only iron-fisted in the ring, he also fights for truth, justice, and urging little stingers all over America to say no to drugs and yes to a clean environment. He is afraid of nothing and no one. Plus, honestly, I have to say, when he did, during the Monday Night Wars in the late 90s, I think it was at that point he came out as Crow Sting. And Crow Sting worked. Not many people could have pulled that off, but he definitely did. Terry Taylor, about to slam, I think that's Arn Anderson. Yep, there you go. Arn Anderson prepares to meet the floor at Mach 1. It's not the first time a wrestler has discovered gravity at the hands of wrestling's favorite scrapper, Terry Taylor. Terry's quickness and agility have earned him the respect of all who oppose him. Those who do not respect him usually wake up sore. Then he went to the WWF and got, I think, no, that was previous to going back to WCW. He was the Red Rooster, which I think was kind of a bummer gimmick, and he definitely didn't embrace it, but Terry Taylor is actually a really, really, really good wrestler. And the final one, the Fabulous Freebirds, is that Jimmy Jam Garvin? That is Jimmy Jam Garvin. See, I remember my old wrestling. It's the new wrestling, I got nothing. He's not a frustrated rock and roll star. He is one. At least that's what he claims. His real claim to fame is pounding away not only on guitar and drums, but on his opponents. In this case, the unlucky victim is Tommy Rich. Band or not, Jimmy Jam Garvin puts on a performance. Oh, wrestling back in the day. Those were fun. I wasn't sure who I was going to get, and that I definitely have to say there's some potential TTM fuel in there. Actually, I just realized I left the shout-out over on the other table. Be right back. All right, apologies for that. I came over here and I realized I left the note card back at the table. And the shout-out this week going to one of the best families on the YouTube land, Three Good Nerds. What really can you say? First off, they're at 1.84K, so they're going to be at 2,000 subs very soon, and very rightfully earned and deserved. They are the epitome of what the hobby was about and should be about again. having fun, doing things as a family, and that's the thing. You're going to get literally a little bit of everything with them, with the Three Good Nerds family. Awesome people, very generous, kind, and the family dynamic that makes, well, it certainly makes me question, and I've said this to them on several occasions, where did I go wrong in my life? But they are truly some of the best people on YouTube, absolutely deserving of 2,000 plus. Link to them down below. Please make sure to go sub them up if you haven't already. And if you have, tell a couple of friends. And now, the hunt pack to the box. There we go. It's fantasy art time. It's art Suydam time. I'm going to stand up because I put the checklists up here. Here we go. I found the checklist. I don't know if you could see any of that or not, but if you did, hello. We've got the checklist. We need 21 for the base set and 4 more for the metallics. Plus, it's always fun to just look at some good old fantasy artwork. Especially art Suydam. He does some great stuff. Okay. No brickage, no stickage. Doesn't feel like any metallics. Unfortunately not. So let us go in, see what we got, and see what we need, and admire some... Hello! What are you guys up to? Number 2, Space Abduction. We actually do need this one. This painting was done entirely with Playtime Paints, a 7-palette children's coloring book set, a bottle of Pelican red and yellow ink, and painted with a tiny 00 brush. This is one of my favorites because of the challenge presented by the limitations of the tools I use. That's kind of fascinating. Amazing what you can do with not much in the way of art if you actually have talent. All right, what do we got here? This is unnerving. 17. We do not need that, but that is Mr. Toad. Oh, yeah, there he is. Couldn't see him. The light was off. Uncle whatever wants you. That's right. We got 32. Do we need 32? We do. The 4th of July. This was a watercolor painting done on commission for the Alexander Gallery. It went on the invitation to the Wind and Willows show there. I like that. And we do need that one. So that is 2. Seen this one before. Just a picturesque, beautiful... What a guy? Those are guys floating. I did not notice that. 38. Actually, we haven't seen that. I thought we had. My mistake. Poppendink. In high school, I did hundreds of little one-shot cartoons about decadent European life with much fantasy interplay. I was later informed that some cat named Heinrich Klee was doing the same thing only 100 years previous to my efforts. Fascinating. All right, we're on 3. We've seen this one before. This is the one inspired by Geiger. Yep, there it is, H.R. Geiger. I do love that one. I have enough copies of that. I think that one's getting sent. Nuts! Leave it. 80. The Nut. Perfect. I did a trilogy for Carl Potts over at Epic Illustrated. The coloring was done on Xerox copies, which gave a slightly different look than coloring originals. That's kind of cool. I'm learning so much about art, although I don't know if I'm ever going to retain it or understand it. Hello. That was a heck of a night. 16 we did. This is Stone Age, number 6. When I was 4 years old, I started drawing dinosaurs. It's what got me going, and I've been doing it ever since. This series for Penthouse Comics is one of my latest projects. I get to use all that anatomical woodshedding. That's what we're talking about. Now, I'm positive we've seen this one before. 57. We have. But it is Tug of War. I almost said Thug of War. Penultimate card, Take That Drink. This is kind of cool. What is this? Number 30. We do need 30. The Backdoor Brothers. I once saw a painting of a mammoth bursting through some trees by the great Frank Frazetta. I decided to do a parody of that theme in the style of a children's book using snails. Oh, cool! That is really cool. And I like the fact that he tells us a little about it because now we're actually getting information. And the final card, number 70, do we need? We do. Number 70, The Late Show. This was done for the closing sequence in Mudwogs. I tried to keep the whole thing in cool colors to capture that all too familiar TV glow. I'd say it was a success. All right, and that pack was that pack was a success. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble saying that word. Well, what did we get here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we take 7 off. That brings us down to 14 that we need. So maybe we might actually complete a set. But that is going to do it for this week, Jank Pack Thursday. Thank you all so much for joining. Thank you to everybody in the chat. And thank you to everybody watching on the replay. Link to 3 Good Nerds down below. Make sure to sub them up because they are awesome. And you will not be disappointed and you will have a good time. That's going to do it for me. Continue on down the road. Don't forget, John Burgess is doing another Remember That show at 8 o'clock. We got all kinds of stuff going on. So let's kick the weekend off. Have a good weekend, and we will see you next time.